G'day folks, well, it's time for another instalment of Blue's timing belt change. As you can see, I've been a little bit busier. I've decided to just strip everything off out of the way, especially because you can't really get the water pump out easily without taking the alternator and everything off, but luckily on this car it's very easily done. 1 bolt, 2 bolt, and it just comes straight out. It also lets you take the engine mount out as well. So I should have done that to start with. I'm not going to take the bracket off. I have to take that off, which is why I dropped the alternator out anyway, because that bolt goes through the water pump and the block. And yeah, there's outlet pipe going up there, or sorry, heater outlets. I just got a new Dayco thermostat, and it's appropriate O-ring gasket for the housing, which is plastic by the way, but I'm sure they make a metal replacement. A couple of Z386 filters, which is the correct filter for this engine. That's an OEM Toyota one, and the oil's still a light golden colour after a few thousand Ks, so that's really good. That's how it should be, not carbon black. I hate it when people let oil go carbon black. I'll show you as an example. I mean, even after running, I know he's had a bit of a chance to settle, but even after running it stays that colour, and that's healthy. If it goes black, that's bad. That means there's, well, I suppose you'd say material removed from working components, as well as possible other issues like over-fueling and sooting. Obviously if it was a diesel engine it'd be black anyway, that's normal. Don't apply that to diesel engines, but petrol engines you don't want it looking like a black diesel engine on the inside. Yeah, so water pump's in there, obviously driven by the timing belt, that's why I'm doing all of this at once. You basically take everything off and replace everything apart from the cam gear and the oil pump drive gear. The tensioners come off and get replaced, the seals get replaced. I know a couple of people said not to disturb them and put new seals in there, but I can't bring myself to do that, especially because I can see a little bit of oily residue around both of them, which is normal. They do lubricate themselves with engine oil, but no, I'm going to take them all off and go from there. Hopefully I can get that nut off. I'm going to have to get a pin wrench or something and try and hold that steady. The belt doesn't look too bad, but we'll know when I get it off. You can see cracking down the root of each tooth. That's when you know they're bad. But yeah, I'd say this is the original belt. Clutch bearing's good on the compressor. Still turns smoothly, there's just no gas in it. There's about 5 psi of gas at ambient. So there's a leak somewhere. Yeah, the water pump is an original Gates product. It is not one of those scary cheap ones that you find on eBay. This was $50, and to be honest with you, $50 for a Gates product is pretty darn good. So yeah, it comes with the seals, replacement screws for the housing as well, which is nice. There's one tricky screw, there's a countersunk Phillips screw which goes in there, so that's going to be fun to get out if it's stuck. But apart from that we should be right. It's going to get windy today, so thankfully not rainy, just a bit windy. So you have to put up with a bit of wind noise in the background. Nippon Denso alternator, internally regulated. There's a regulator in there. Yeah, very good. Okay, well the old belt's off. It's not cracked. Like if you see cracks forming along the root of the tooth, and the tooth actually starting to come off, that means it's near failure, but this one's okay. You can see a bit of stranding and other stuff coming out there, but yeah, it's not bad. Like, it wasn't going to fail anytime in the immediate future, so it's definitely not a recently replaced belt though, so yeah, it's a good thing to get onto it. I've aligned everything to top dead centre and also put a couple of little reference marks just to be doubly sure. It's the first time I've done one in the car. Yeah, also got my laptop out here for just checking things up and IRC, that sort of thing. Chatting with the geek group, whatever else wants to happen. Because work called me this morning and gave me the rest of the week off if I want it, which I did. Paid leave. things got a bit quiet there after I went there and caught up with stuff, which is good, so I get even more time off to do whatever I want. Awesome. I guess I better drain the cooling system, get the water pump off, get the crank pulleys and everything, crank seal and oil pump seal done. Replace these idlers. Yeah, they're not rocky and noisy, but not the happiest. Yeah, very good. Oh God, I think Blue's punishing me for separating him from Betty for so long. He's been a complete dick. I've had a nightmare getting that timing pulley off. I was going to call it a sprocket, but it's not. It's a pulley. And one of the little fingers decided to break off. Yeah. And those fingers are essential because they send pulses to the ECU via the crank position sensor to tell it what position the crank is in. So I've either got to drill and tap a small thread in there, like a 3mm thread, and file the thread to the same size as one of those teeth, or I have to find another one. So I'll have a go at fixing it, and I'll have a go at finding another one before I put the front of the engine back together again. I tried Repco, they definitely don't have a listing for them, so I'm going to go to the local wreckers and see if they even have a whole engine that I can pick up for cheap and do an autopsy on. Even if it's spun a bearing or something like that, it doesn't matter because that pulley will still be in good condition. But yeah, I basically just drilled and tapped a couple of holes in the face of it, which you can sort of see in there. And it took more force to pull this off than it did the harmonic balancer doing the exact same thing. So I used those two holes for the balancer and the same bolts. And this thing is well stuck. Normally they should just slide off with minimal persuasion, like you might just have to pop a screwdriver blade in behind it and just give it a little bit of a nudge and it'll come off, but that wasn't the case, and I got a bit carried away and broke the finger off it, which is my own damn fault. But being cast iron, they're particularly brittle. So yeah, lesson learnt. I found a few parts listing on the internet. I haven't found anything on eBay, but there's a listing for an American site, but they don't ship internationally. And the thing is, it's really cheap on that Toyota parts site. It's actually a Toyota distribution site, an official Toyota site, and they want like 20 bucks for one. Over here, this would probably be about 80. So yeah, it's not fun. It's loose now, it is coming off. I can turn the screw by hand. But it took a significant amount of force to break that free. So yeah. Either way, at least I can do part of the service, get the crank seal and the oil pump seal in, and at least drop the water pump out, do the coolant and everything. Yeah. Or flush the block, get the new water pump and everything in so the adhesive can cure. I'm going to use Copper Max again, and yeah, throw everything back together again and we should be right.